welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. Okay, so loving hip hop Miami. So we start this episode off with Ace practicing for his showcase. He's like rapping over this like rock gospel beat. It's like a live band, background singers. I don't know. It was kind of hard to understand the flow of the sound trying to hear it. Um so, whatever. Next, it wasn't that interesting. All right, so Princess is having a get together at her house. And what I'm trying to understand is why Princesses and Ray are even on here. They are not entertaining enough to me to be having them on different franchises. Leave them right where you found them at Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So at this get together, Princess invites Neri and Sheila over. So Neri shows up first, then Sheila comes. They're kind of sitting outside, eating, having drinks, talking about the different things that they have going on. She's talking about Ace's showcase, all these different things. And so Neri is like to Sheila, so, what do you have going on, like, for you? And she's like, oh, I have this company called Curvy Curly Consciousness or Curvy Consciousness, one of those. And we host retreats for Black women. We host a safe space for them so that they're able to just have conversations, decompress, different things like that. So Neri is immediately like, so I won't be able to come. So Sheila is like, well, before I would have allies or non-Black women who would come along. But, getting feedback from the women, they would prefer a space where it's Black women only so that they feel comfortable enough to speak how they truly feel. And I really want to be true to the women who support me and be honest with them. They have this expectation that this will be Black women only. So I'm going to ensure that it is. I mean, Sheila was very, politically correct. And she just was like, I'm not trying to offend you, but this is a safe space for Black women. So after explaining clearly what this event was for and who will be allowed to come, Princess says, so Neri can't come? Are you hard of hearing? Didn't Neri just ask for herself if she could come? And in the nicest way possible, Sheila explained to her that she could not come and why. So this is like her third time explaining in a different way, but essentially saying the same thing, that this is a space for Black women. Princess proceeds to say, so it's just going to be me and you? Listen, Princess, you don't even have to come. If it's to that, you don't even have to show up. Okay? But I think it's interesting because they are both mixed race. I don't know what Princess identifies as, but Sheila definitely identifies as a Black woman. And they obviously have had two different lived experiences, because it seems like Princess is identifying as a mixed woman. So Neri goes into her confessional and is like, as a Latina, it just got me to thinking, because I am married to a black man and I have black children and da 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 da. And my thing is like, you telling her, oh, this is why she should be more open minded. No, you need to be open minded. Start with yourself first. Because if you were open minded, you would understand why she needs a space, or why black women need a space solely to themselves without including others. Black women always have to integrate. Black women always have to be accepting. Black women always have to compromise. And black women always have to be welcoming. Look at the way that y'all acting right now. Just because you can't come into a space. And it's making me feel like y'all truly do not care about the mental health and the healing of black women, because you are so up in arms that you're not able to be in their business. Stay out of black women's business. You saying that you married to a black man and have black children that are all boys have nothing to do with what Sheila is talking about. At all. And here's the thing, Neri. You don't get to be black by association. You don't get to pull out this Pokemon card like, hey, I should be included too because my family is black. And it's the entitlement that is making me feel some type of way, because why are you entitled to black women's spaces? Okay, so we move on to Amara. All right, so Amara is sitting down with her parents and she looks a little bit sad. And she's talking about how, she was pregnant and that she ended up bleeding a lot and she ended up miscarrying. So her mom is like, why didn't you say anything? And Amara is like, not that you would have cared anyway. And I'm sorry, but I truly do hope that this is not just a storyline that was made up and that she did actually experience a miscarriage, because I do empathize with her for that sake, and I would hope that she wouldn't lie about something like that. But everything with her, right, it's just like, it's dramatic, it's just so extreme. Like, she's just like, shut up, mom, shut up, because her mother is trying to talk to her, and I don't feel like she was saying anything like negative to her. She just like, shut up, you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. She runs out of the house. The way she even ran out the house was just so dramatic. And it's just like, with her, it's so hard to tell what's the truth and what's not, because even with her tears, because literally everything is dramatic. Her putting food on a plate is dramatic. Like, girl, but her mom and dad, they go out and follow her. Her mom is consoling her. Like, I do understand, because I have been through that. I've had several miscarriages before I had you. And once I had you, like, you were my greatest blessing. Like, I love you. And it was nice to see them connect in that moment, because she just be going off on her mother sometimes. And, to go through something like that, it's a tough loss. So I know that that's something that Amara will carry with her probably for the rest of her life. Okay, so next scene, we are at Neri and Nori's son's basketball game. I'm laughing because he was drinking, and he's like, yeah, I'm at my son's basketball game. So I'm having a drink or whatever. I'm drinking a little bit, and I think the agreement was for him to stop drinking, or at least slow down a lot, by a lot. And I'm laughing because Nori is continuing to drink, and Neri is passing him them cups full of liquor. They keep filling it up. She keep handing it right to him. I said, Neri ain't thinking about that, baby. She don't care. So she like, yeah, go ahead on and drink it up. So anyway, she decides to have a discussion with him about what happened at Princess's house. So she's like, yeah, Sheila said she's having this retreat and it's for black women only. And they're going back and forth. He's like, yeah. And he's like, isn't she half white or something? And I'm like, okay, but apparently she identifies as a black woman and her experiences have been as a black woman. When you look at, I'm not gonna to fight her on that. That's what she identifies as. That's what she clearly looks like. So he is pretty much like, it is what it is. But what more do you want? She has a black husband. She has black kids. Now he's talking about Neri, that she has those things. So essentially, you're agreeing that she should be invited because of those things. He's like, so basically, you can't go because you're not dark enough. No, she can't go because she's not black. The event is for black women. The event is for people who identify as black. Why is that so hard to comprehend? And then it's like, you literally just explained why she was not invited. You said she has a black husband and she has black children, but not once did you say that she herself was black. Everybody else you described as black. And you know why? Because she's not black. She doesn't identify as black, and she never has. So once again, this event is for black women, not women who are married to black men, not for women who have black children. And even with him saying, it is what it is, and them agreeing to it, I don't like how they're trying to make this into a bigger issue. Like there's some discrimination going on. Sheila said what she said. The rules are the rules. This is a retreat for black women. If you are not a black woman, your presence will not be appreciated. All right, so we get to Ace's showcase, and Sheila pulls Blondie, Ace's mom, aside, and they just really have like a transparent conversation. And they are able to come to a mutual understanding that they will set boundaries and have mutual respect for each other. Blondie was owning some of her wrongdoing, which was nice to see. And now they should be moving forward and it seems like they are in a good place, which is nice to see, because now they can come together as a family and not have the issues that they have had prior. So Ace finally performs, and I have to admit, is in the beginning I was kind of turning my face up at the practice, but the song really sounded good. It sounded so good. Everybody was there, listening, and it just seemed like a vibe. So that was nice to hear. Hopefully they'll play more of his music, throughout the season, the rest of the season. So here we go again with these forced fake relationships. Amada decides to have a get together at her house, and she invites Princess and Neri. Of course, one of the first things that she brings up is Sheila and her event. And she's like, I don't really care about it. It was a little bit awkward, but I'm like, if you didn't care, why are you bringing this up yet again? Because you pressed Sheila when she told you. You brought it up to your husband. Now you're bringing it up again. And you don't even know what type of relationship her and Amada have. You don't even know if Amada knows who she is. Yeah, so Amada is like, yeah, she invited me to her event, but I don't know if she remembers what she said to me or about me. And she goes on to say how 3 years ago when she first came on the scene, on the show, and people were saying, she was airbrushing her skin and she had a fake wig afro and all of these other things. She was a caricature of a black woman. And she's like, yeah, so she said this on her IG live. It's allegedly this, allegedly that. And I'm like, if it's alleged, why are you bringing it up? 1, 2, did you see it yourself? 3, where are the receipts? Where are the receipts? Because if I'm going to make claims about somebody and something that they said about me online, baby, I'm going to have the receipts. So then, whatever, they move on from that, because she's like, well, hopefully she's moved past that, because I've grown in 3 years, so I'm hoping that she has as well. And so here come Princess jumping in again. And it's just like, at this point, Princess, if you have such a major issue with it, you need to stay home. Because it's obvious that you don't identify as a black woman and you feel like your struggles are not the same as black women. So you should not be intruding on those spaces. Stay your ass away. So Princess is like, yeah, it was kind of weird for me too when she said that to you, because my mom is Filipino and she would have benefited from coming to something like this. And Neri, you could learn as well because you have black kids. And it's like, first of all, let's set the record straight. It is not black women's job to teach non-black women how to treat other black people or their black children. That is on them to learn it. That's on your daddy. Those are black fathers that are involved in this. Go talk to him. It's his job to teach. The onus is on your black husbands. It's just like, forget what black women are going through. Forget their mental health. Forget their healing. You need to mule and you need to do the work for us. You need to teach us. And this is a part of what black women are trying to run away from. Why should black women give you free labor? Are you crazy? If you want to create spaces for non-black mothers or non-black parents who have black children, then you go ahead and do that. You create those spaces for them. But for right now, the discussion is about black women, and it's going to continue to be that for Sheila's retreats. Now, if she want to create something else, she can, but she says she's doing it for black women. And I just can't believe that this got okayed and that y'all making this a thing. And it needs to be addressed at that reunion, and y'all better address it correctly. And I guess that's a part of the point, right? Like, everybody knows that if you offend black women, that black women will speak up, their voices will be heard, and it'll garner a lot of attention, even if nothing is done about it. Even if nothing is corrected. And it's like, y'all might be trying to get some traction because the number's probably been low, the ratings, people not really watching, but I don't like this. This ain't the way to go. And, I'm just annoyed by Amada's response, just because she was like, yeah, I don't understand why you can't go when your whole platform since the inception of the Miami franchise has been about how you have faced discrimination and anti-blackness in the Hispanic community, especially that women who look like, and people in the Hispanic community who look like Neri are fine and are uplifted, and women and children and men who look like you are not. And this is like, I thought that you were supposed to be uplifting people who look like you and have the same experiences as you. So I was just very disappointed. I just thought that Amada would be looking to uplift other Afro Latinos and Latinas. And some of that starts with a space where you're able to heal and discuss the different things that you've gone through without people who are actively discriminating against you. And another point that Neri brought up was the fact that she said that, minorities or people of color, we need to stick together. The first thing you need to do is you need to call out the people, speak to the people in your family who make disparaging and anti-black comments, the people in your community who do those same things, because I'm sure that you've heard it time and time again. That's where you start. We don't even know if you're an ally. You saying that you married to a black man, that don't mean nothing. There's plenty of racists who are married to black men who have sex with black men. So you could miss me with all of that. You need to start with yourself and those around you. And then I think Princess went on to say, just because you're not African American doesn't mean you're not black. Well, obviously, because Amada is not African American. She's of African descent, but she's from the Dominican Republic. In addition to, y'all need a lesson on race, ethnicity, and nationality. Three different things. At no point did Sheila say, this is a retreat for African American women. She said black women. Black. The whole situation just annoyed me. Princess is really annoying me because I don't understand why she's going so hard for this non-black woman to be included in black women's spaces. Like, you are going up, girl. Why is this the hill that you are willing to die on? It's not making sense to me. All right, so next we get into Trina because they finish the verses. They celebrate the verses. Um, Trick did a pop-up surprise, and I was like, you better have been there or it was going to be a problem. And, they're just like, you need to take a break. Even if it's for a couple of days, you need to take a break. We need to take you away so you could just relax. They take her away. I don't even know where they went, but they were on the beach and they had dinner. Things seemed to be chill. Bobby and Joy are the ones who planned this and put this together. So Joy says she brought someone. And she brought this pastor who was speaking or prophesying to Trina. So she said God told her that she would be speaking with a celebrity woman and to tell her that her pain will be at ease or something like that. And, she just is going on and on and on. Trina's sitting there and she's listening to her, shaking her head. And when she's finished, she starts going clean off like she usually does, but she was going sick. Like, no, I don't have my mother, so my pain will never go away. Not you, not God, not the Holy Ghost, not the Spirit. Nobody can tell me anything. My mother is not here. You will never understand that pain till that's something that you go through. Like, it's never going to go away. And I was like, did she tell you it was going to go away? Or did she just say it will be at ease or you'll be comforted or whatever? She was like, no, because nobody brings up my mother. Nobody brings my mother into this. Don't bring up my mother. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, she ain't bring up your mother though. Because if she's saying that God spoke to her, she's just said something about your pain. Your pain could come from more things than just your mom. I understand that's the most recent thing that you're going through, but like, she went off. It was kind of embarrassing. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, why are you cussing this pastor out now? And then she was going off on Joy. You made the wrong decision. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, but there was a better way to handle that. And after she went off, she walked away. I would prefer for you to have just walked away and just be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't take this right now. Like, I need to take a break, and walked away. That was crazy. But the funny part was the way that her boyfriend was sitting here, like his face and the way he was holding the door. I don't know. It just made me laugh, even though this was a serious situation. But just the way she just was like, you'll never understand. And I'm like, I don't feel like you coming from a place to understand it either. And I can't tell somebody how to feel. You lose your mother, like, especially if you were close to your mom, like, it takes a toll on you. But I just feel like she's overworking herself so that she doesn't have to deal with reality. Like, some people turn to drugs so they don't have to do, like, she's working. Some people work and will overwork. So that's not something I have to think about, because by the end of the day, I'm so tired that my mind won't be wandering. I'll go right to sleep because I've just been working so hard. But she didn't even want to hear what that lady had to say. She went off. Everybody else was just kind of sitting there quietly. And I don't really understand that either. And I'm like, maybe because she the money, nobody want to piss her off. But listen, I'm grown just like you grown. Like, you're not about to talk to me crazy like that, Katrina. All right, so the end of this episode really was about to take me over the top. So Neri is almost done with her juice bar, getting it together. So she invites Sheila and Princess there, and they are going to taste the juices and have a conversation about this retreat. So Neri finally admits to Sheila she was feeling some type of way, that this was about black women, because all before it was like, yeah, you know what, like I don't really care, you know, it's whatever. But now you feeling some type of way after you done talked about it to 20 different people about 100 different times. And Princess just really is really irritating to me. This hoe start crying, saying we need to be teaching non-black people about black experiences. That's essentially what she was saying. Oh, parents, listen, Princess, whatever you went through with your mother, that does not fall on the backs of black women. I don't even know why you sitting up here crying. And Sheila just was looking at her like with a straight face. But she was really nice about it. She explained to them once again why things are the way they are. Black women typically don't have their own spaces to discuss what they're growing through, how they're dealing with it, how they can heal from it. And Sheila's better than me, because I would have turned up on them. And she was just as calm. And, you know, she was giving Neri the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to, because you are telling her that it's her job to teach non-black people who have black children on the black experience, when the first lesson is right here. Do not intrude on black spaces, especially not black women's spaces. Leave them alone. Stay out of their business and whatever else they got going on. Princess, you and your tears, them crocodile tears, do nothing for me. Whatever trauma you went through with your mother, you need to speak with your mother about it. It's her job. It should have been her job to learn, to be able to listen and learn your experiences growing up half black. And that goes for all non-black people who have half black children. Don't try to put the onus on black women so that you can get free labor, free emotional labor out of them. Absolutely not. About this episode in the comments below. I really felt like I was being gaslit, and I'm not even in the situation.
It pissed me off.
And you know, I kind of was giving Sheila some grief in the earlier episodes, but you know, one thing about it, you're not gonna come for her, Neri. Like, we gonna have her back. We got your back, Sheila. And I saw she was throwing a little bit of shade on TikTok, and I was like, I know that's right.
4 p.m. and I don't care what anyone says.
Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, then you would know what it takes to run a business, but you don't. So don't even act like you know what I'm talking about.
So that was the end of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below, and I will speak to you next time.